Hey, what's up, world? It's me, your girl, Angela. Welcome to the BTrue2U Talk Show. You know what we do. Go ahead and like, go ahead and share, and invite your mama, your sister, your auntie, your cousin, and your brother, okay? Don't forget your daddy either, because, honey, he might want to be a part of this show. Nevertheless, you know, we are here, and I have a special guest today, and she is really a special guest, y'all. But she's not really a guest. She is family. She is my oldest sister. So go ahead and clap it up and invite my sister, Mary Lewis. Oh, okay. Hey, sis.
Hello, my darling.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Now, I already told the people that you are my sister. You are my older sister. But, you know, some people don't know you. So go ahead and look over the camera and introduce yourself to the people.
Hi, I'm Mary Lewis. I'm the older sister of Sheila and Angela. One of the babies of Milton and Adolph. One of the fathers of Willie Lewis. And I am their star sister.
Star? What you mean?
Yeah, I'm the star. I'm the real star of this family. Oh, that's funny, huh? For real, y'all. I'm the real star of this family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She is a pastor, y'all, but I don't know where to start that.
Because I'm the jokester.
Oh, so I'm trying to say, like, you think that we stars? That's why you said you the real star, because we stars?
Yeah, I'm going to let y'all have some of it.
Well,
yeah.
thank you.
O'Brien trying to get in. I watched
she growing,
her.
Right?
Yeah, she getting a little laugh.
So I know you had this thought in your head about what life was going to look like for you. What was that?
You know, to walk around with my jeans and my tank top, my cute knit top, or in a designer purse and some sticking heel. But that ain't what life looking like.
And so, because you can't have the life that you thought you was going to have, can I ask, what does life look like to you now?
Praying that I get out of bed the next day. Praying that I'm able to inhale and exhale. And to be totally honest, praying that I wake up the next day. You know, we hear so many people having an asthma attack and just dying. I don't have a fear of dying. I used to. I believe that was one of the reasons that I would sit up all night. And I just said that to somebody this morning. I always say if death came to get me, I'm going to be looking at it in their face. Like, I ain't going to lie. You ain't going to catch me sleep.
I was going to also ask you, out of all the things that you named off, that's high blood pressure, borderline diabetes, congestive heart failure, asthma, which symptom or which disease do you have the most concern about? And it's asthma.
Asthma. It used to be, could I tell you, it used to be having a stroke or a heart attack, because those two things, you don't know how you're going to come out of it. And having asthma, you can, like that, you know, like that quick, you can be gone, you know. And so it would be one of mine, you know, that I'll be more concerned about.
So a lot of people may have asthma or not have asthma or certain things. Like, what do people take for granted that you, as a person that lives with asthma, you can't take for granted anymore?
Going outside.
Something so simple as
going
fresh
outside.
air. Like, people are like, oh, I need fresh air. Fresh air can do.
Sometimes it could just mess me up, you know, being outside. Just being around people, period, because getting a cold, getting COVID, getting the flu, those things can wipe me out. And so I can't take that for granted. I can walk outside and might walk outside and somebody's smoking. Instantly, it just put me in a bad place. And so I could walk in somebody's house, or somebody can approach me, you know, that's been smoking, or, you know, I can't be in a room that has plug-ins, you know. And I used to be a type of person that, you know, I like the oil.
I was going to say some of the things that you love, you cannot do. You
no.
can't do candles. You can't do certain oil. You can't even do fragrance. And we some fragrance girls.
Yeah. And what I know how to mix and match now. I know the cheap stuff that's real potent, and because it's not so much
Is it the alcohol, or if stuff that's made with oil is better for you than that's made with
it all
alcohol?
depends.
Oh.
It all depends. And so I'm learning that, like, I can spray something sideways and I'm like, oh, push that to the side. I know I can't wear that no more. And
So do you try to find what fragrance that is? Because it could be frankincense, or it could be.
I'm just not really
rose.
getting to know the notes.
Uh-huh.
And so when I learn the notes, then I'll know that this.
That you can.
Yeah.
Right. Because I know, like, for instance, as far as my allergy, I know I could play around with a cashew, but I don't play with nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, nut oil, nut lotion.
Yeah, and-
I mean,
yeah.
almond lotion, almond oil. I don't do anything with almond. Shampoo with almond, anything with almond, I stay away from it because
And you know
it'll
what?
take me out.
It's so funny because we take those kind of things for granted, and not knowing some of our sickness that we're experiencing it's allergy. It is allergy. Your body, my body may react different from yours, but your body gonna react from it because it's allergy. I'm due to have an allergy test to see the things that's definitely affecting me, because even though Uncle would have kept saying, that sound like congestive heart failure.
Right.
And the doctors for what, 2-3 years was saying, no, it's not congestive heart failure. You just have aggressive asthma.
And he kept saying.
He kept saying to me, Mary Florence, that is congestive heart failure. And that night I went to Holy Cross, and the Lord, and there wasn't nobody but God himself, sucked 2 doctors in. And one said you got congestive heart failure on this side, and you have aggressive asthma on this side, and making those two, just, real bad for you. But it's getting the right diagnose, because so long they kept saying that it was asthma, and we, knew it was something different,
Do people try to make you feel like, or question like, what did you do to get yourself in this predicament?
I question myself, like, not saying that I did something. Let's put it like this: I asked God why He allowed it, because it couldn't happen unless He allowed it. I just recently got over the stage. How long? Because it's been a long time, and in the midst of that, I'm still praying for people, seeing people, rise up from whatever, and I'm still in this place. And I was one of those people that told you it's for God glory, and you sent me an emoji like.
Whatever.
Like, in other words, out of here. But I know that's what it is, and so I don't struggle with that no more. Just to do what I know to do, do what I need to do to keep myself alive, to keep myself healthy, knowing that God, He got me. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, and because I know this may be the hardest thing in all that you do, because I know how you fought so hard to not be a certain size, and now the one thing that they give you, which is steroids, has caused you to blow up. And I know.
Hate it with a passion. For so long, I couldn't even look in the mirror at myself. Like, to me, I look better now. Like, at first, I was just this, with that looking like Martin with that fat lady suit on. Looked like I had opened the back of that thing, and I had stepped in that thing.
What's her name? Rashu?
Yeah, I was like, some days, I kid you not, it would go from one day to the next. I will wake up and my arm would be like this high. I was like, this can't be real,
Were you embarrassed that you gained that weight because you was a smoothie lady? You exercised, so
yes, I was embarrassed.
You felt like people was judging you. Maybe they felt like she done went back to eating.
Like because people got their opinion. People gonna have their opinion. And like, oh, she just probably just sitting there just eating. And I love to eat. Now, don't get me wrong, but that wasn't the case. Like, I have to do this thing that I have to take my own vital signs. And the doctors, they get the report. It's a telephone, and I get up, I do my blood pressure, EKG, my weight, and my oxygen level. I can go from one day to the next, and Uncle Woody had told me about this. I can go from weighing a certain weight, 2 days later or the next day later, I could be 5 pounds heavier.
5 pounds heavier.
When that happened, they automatically, it's like the phone don't even sound like a normal ring. It's almost like an alert. And they'll call me and they'll say, Miss Lewis, is you all right? Do you need 911? And I already know either they're going to say it was because my oxygen level was low, my blood pressure was high, or my weight
went up.
And so I went through this phase where my weight was coming down. I don't know if I dropped too much fluid. That I think it was Thursday or Friday, I was 5 pounds heavier.
Because you had just said you lost, what, 12 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was 5 pounds heavier. Then when I got up this morning,
But
I was swollen.
You're swollen, but
Yeah.
you're not like before you.
Oh, no.
Sometimes there was time when you look like you could be like a bust, like a pop, like a bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm good. I ain't gonna cry.
You ain't gonna cry?
No, I haven't told myself. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, what would you like people to know about, taking care of yourself now? Because you stopped drinking sodas,
Mm-hmm.
and although you're a foodie,
Mm-hmm.
are you mindful about what food you
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Because I get a shot for the asthma every month, and it's steroids. There's times when I have to go back on the steroids, and it's either from 20 to 50 grams. And so that's a lot of steroids. So it's going to blow me up. Not only is it going to blow me up, it's going to elevate my sugar level. And so, and there's warning signs before anything happens to your body. There's warning signs. We don't pay attention to the warning sign. And it's so important going to the doctor, because the very thing that I fear going in retirement is to be going to the doctor every day, and that's what my life has become. But thank God I don't have to. They come to me. But you have to take care of your body. You have to listen to your body. You have to get those checkups, even when you don't want it. You get that mammogram. You do whatever they said need to be done, because that's what called prevented health.
So let me ask you this, and not to cut you off, but you say that there's warning signs. Did you have warning signs?
Yeah, I did.
What was?
You know what? Even when the wheezing was just a little bit, I should have went and got some help. And I will go and they will put me on blood pressure pill, and then I might not go to the doctor for another 6 months, And I would always try to work through it, And I made matters worse, not going and getting the right help that I needed, not seeking out the right doctors, listen to, like whatever the doctor said, we'll take that and we'll just be settled with that, instead of just doing your research. You know your body, your body not functioning the way it used to function. You're not feeling the same. Then go and see about yourself. Do something about it.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to ask you this: you worked for the school board for how many years?
Almost 18 years. And
you worked at this one particular school for
17
years. And so that was a part of your identity.
Yeah.
And so now you're overweight. Now you're having problem breathing. So now they snatch this thing that you love so. And now, who is Mary? Do you ever feel asking yourself, God, what do I do now? Who am I now?
I did. I don't now. I did. In the beginning, there was some depressed days. There was some days where I cried. There were some days where I can talk a good faith, in the daytime, but at night when I was by myself, there's days when I screamed, I cried. There's days when I could not wait for the house to be empty, where I can just cry out to God. And I don't think I ever asked him, why me? Or why it's taking so long? Why it's been so long? You think you're going to, you'll go through a sickness and you move on. And it's like, I haven't moved on. I don't look the way I used to look. I believe I get around a little bit better than I used to. And so, and maybe because I'm not accept the sickness, but accept the state that I'm in.
Let's talk about that. That's deep.
Yeah, I have accept the state that I'm in, because at this moment, I don't do all I can do. And so now I'm waiting on the manifestation of the healing part to take.
I get it. You're doing like Paul said. You got to learn to be content. Not that you're not trusting God to heal you, but at the same time, you do the best with what you can
Exactly.
at this moment.
Exactly. There's days, and you know that I have a grandbaby that I endure, and so there's days when everything have to be brought in the room with me, put in the bed with me, because there's days I can get up and feed her, bathe her, and there's some days that I can change her, and me and her can stay in that bed till somebody get home. And there's days I can get up and bathe myself, get her a bath, and make dinner and all that, and there's days when none of that can be done.
For a woman who worked for 18 years, taking care of 5
For
kids,
that job.
for that, right? That's right, because we
Yeah.
worked ever since we was 14. But for you having a career for 18 years, raising 5 kids, taking care of yourself, and now you have to depend on people.
Mm-hmm.
What does that feel
Listen.
like? How do you handle that? What do you tell self that you can?
You know, because like I said, being vain and had a spirit of pride, and so that was crushing. It was crushing to even say that I needed help, that I needed somebody to come in and to bathe me. Even now, I shower with a shower chair. You know, who would have ever thought? You know,
And you're young.
I'm young. I'm 60 years young. This one side of my body swells up the most, and so this side on my right side, a little more functional than this side. But if I'm in the shower, I can reach over with my right hand and wash, you know, my bottom, my feet, and whatever. But to do the left, the right, I got to call somebody in the shower, ask them could they come, you know, help me out.
The first time you had to call somebody, was you crying? Was you
Crying,
did it take you
girl,
forever?
I was a mess. A mess. Can I tell you? It probably was one of the worst days of my life. When I realized that I couldn't even step over in the tub
by yourself.
because I hid it. Can I tell you the honest God truth? I hid it for a long time. I would sit on my toilet and bathe myself from the sink for a long time, probably a good year.
Really?
Mhm.
I didn't even know that.
Mhm. And then I finally said, I need help. And I started telling my babies, and they started coming in and they started bathing me. But for a long time, I didn't want to face that. Who want to face that?
Right.
You know how for so long I couldn't even reach down to put my own underwears on.
Hold that thought. Y'all know what we gotta do. We gotta pay them bills, honey. So we'll be back. The RAT, not the RIGHT. Right back. Okay, we're back, y'all. So, Mary, I wanted to ask you this last question, or talk about it. I remember you having to do a sleep study, and you stopped breathing one night 53 times.
53 times.
Was that scary to know that?
It was after I found out, you know, the after effect, you know, yeah. But what it made me do, you know, because I wasn't sleeping with the oxygen every night, and I supposed to.
Why you have such a struggle with the oxygen?
I don't have no real answer. I don't. You know, there's this there, and y'all know I make a joke out of everything. There's days when I know I better not play with it.
And then there's some days like today, you don't play with it.
No, there's days when I know you play with this thing if you want to. I bet you'll make it a day. And so after that, I don't sleep without it. I don't sleep. I can even if I fall asleep one of those kids gonna be standing over me and say, because my breathing is so bad, Mama, get up and put this shot. My son-in-law, he'll be standing over me, Ma, put this on. You sound so bad. And so, like I said, I don't know why I struggle with it. So I don't know.
No, really, you need to think about that. Why do you struggle with something that helps you? And you have a portable one. It's not like you got to be dragging the thing around, Mary. So what is the problem?
Crazy. Call it crazy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Go to counseling.
I don't.
Get some help.
I went last week to get my toes done, and when they said, "Mom, you're actually in your car. You want it?" I want it. Cause what? Because people are so freaking nosy. The minute you come in there with something, they looking at you like you be wanting to say, and what do you want to know?
So you still dealing with a little pride issue when it comes.
I don't know if it's pride.
Yes, Mary. It's got to be something that you won't put that thing that you don't have to worry about giving out a breath. And as soon as you sit down, you got to get the inhaler. You need to stop it.
That's what you want me on the show for?
Yeah, you need to stop it.
Let me start laughing.
Yeah, because you get laughing, you going to do it. Okay.
And them lights ain't helping too. And I ain't got that option 3.
Okay. You need to stop it.
Oh God! But you know what? It's I can laugh about that thing now, but there was times where I couldn't laugh about it. Worrying from one day to the next, and I'm gonna see the next day. But I'm better.
I'm not healed. Would you say things are better?
Yeah, I'm better. Right medication. I believe I got someone that's really fighting for me as much as I'm fighting for myself, and thank God for the doctor that they sent out to the house. She's really, really fighting for me, and she told me when I go to the specialist what to say. Don't just take anything they say. Always ask them what's the long term. In the next 3 months, where do you see me at? And so thank God. For her, like she really, really makes sure that I'm getting the right care. When she said, you're no longer going to be trying to go out to see a doctor, everything going to be brought in the house. When I thought, okay, everything going to be brought in the house, what they going to do? But for them to come in the house, and set up everything for me to get up and take my vital signs, and they see everything the minute it says sent, they see it, and they calling me back and say, Miss Lewis, what are you feeling? And what, I get physical therapy that come out to the house. My blood work get done at the house, so I believe I'm on the right path this time around.
To God be the glory. Mm-hmm. And so I would like for you to do me a favor, look over to the camera and give someone a word of encouragement that may be going through what you're experiencing or just may be going through. What would you tell them at this time?
Fight to live. Don't lose hope. Keep the faith. Keep trusting Him. Don't let pride or the opinion of somebody else make you feel that that you're not gonna make it through this. And I must be totally honest. Every time I hear somebody passed away with asthma, it do prompt something in me. But I learned what, God, that's not my story. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe you have kept me and sustained me this far to lead. And so do all you can do to stay healthy. Prevention is the key. Go get your breast exam. You're feeling some kind of way in your body. Don't brush it off. I don't care if it's just a headache. That headache is saying something. It means something. High blood pressure is a silent killer. And sometimes we don't want to look at it like that, but it's a silent killer. High blood pressure indicated there's something serious going wrong in your body. And so don't just brush it off. Go get yourself checked out. It's so important. And
so how will they find you on social media?
You can find me, Mary Lewis. I think Instagram, it might be MF Lewis 1964. Mary Lewis, TikTok. And doing Life Mirror Way on YouTube.
Come through for the YouTube, girl.
Yeah, I got one stir up though.
That's okay. Don't act like that. Okay, so follow her on YouTube, y'all. Subscribe. And so thank you again for coming.
Thanks for having me. I love being on this show.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
I really do.
We'll bring you regular.
Yeah.
and is and will.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, listen to what she said. Your body speaks to you. It gives you warning. Prevent those things as much as possible. A body in motion stays in motion. It is very important to get up and walk at least 30 minutes a day. When you walk at least 30 minutes a day, you help yourself with high blood pressure. You help fight against heart attack. You help fight against stroke, and you help yourself mentally. And so get up and move. A body in motion stays in motion. With that being said, starting April 5th, we're going to do live exercising together at 7 a.m. on YouTube as well as Facebook. 7 a.m. That's right. A body in motion stays in motion. We are a woman of a particular age, honey, so we need to make sure we can do those things that we can pick up our own grocery. That's right. Pick up your own grocery. You need to be able to do those things that's going to use those muscles that you can climb a stair. And we need to use those muscles that we can sit on the toilet and get ourselves on it. Most of all, we need to use those muscles that if you fall, you can get back up. Okay? Get Humpty the Dumpling back up again, y'all. I thank you guys for liking. Thank you for joining us. And remember, we will be back here every Monday at 7 p.m. This is your girl, Angela, the BTrue2U Talk Show, and everything you do, always be true to you. I love you and I mean it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.